What would you say SSP means to you now, 1 year later?
Mm. That's a really big question,
Yeah.
I think. Let's start with academically. Academically, it did teach me the starting point of remote sensing and satellite observation stuff. I kind of knew already that that's what I wanted to do.
Okay.
Because it's the most commercially developed compared to like launch or Mars colonization, moon colonization, whatever. That's kind of still new.
Early days, yeah.
Early days for especially a business person.
Yeah.
So having gone to and specialized in space applications with Suyin, shout out Suyin, great teacher. And that definitely helped me land the job that I am in today with ISI, which I'm sure we'll talk about at some point.
Yes.
So that is one way that it meant a lot, because it was a great help in letting me achieve that dream of entering the space industry. That was my number one measure of success for whatever I invested into this university. It's like, if I can get into the space industry within a reasonable amount of time, actually 6 months was my goal, and it happened in 6 months. Wow. Exactly.
Okay.
Then it was worth it. But I got so much more out of it than just academically and professionally. Okay. The memories will live on forever, but even more than that, the friendships, right? To be in an environment where everybody understands you immediately with no need of further explanation, that is not an easy place to find or replicate. And I think a lot of us at that program have probably grown up with people who are very different around us, when we didn't necessarily vibe with, for many reasons. And so having felt my most true self at that program, where I could really just reveal 100% of who I was on day one, it's hard to describe how important that was. Yeah. Right? And now I have lifelong, I hope, friendships from this program, and people who I so deeply love. And if nothing else had worked out except that, it would be worth it. But it was so much more than that as well. So yeah, it was 1 year later, I can say it was really, really worth it.
Yes.
And I would never change it for anything.
And you'd recommend?
I would recommend. Yeah. Although SSP23 Pride, I doubt anything will be as good as ours. But they will try. Yeah. They always say that the next SSP is going to be the best SSP.
Yeah.
And the Brazil was a really great location for it, for sure.
You've summarized my thoughts on it perfectly as well.
Yeah.
I think with such a program, the cost up front and the intensity, you're kind of selecting for people who can dream about what is possible. People who are not cynical.
Yeah.
People who believe that they can get lucky and that good things can happen in their life. And you feel it every day, I think, that optimism. True. Yeah. So yeah, it definitely personally pushed me out of my comfort zone. I know you're extremely accomplished, I would say, it's my impression of you. Thanks. I would say your tolerance for stress, for organizing and being in new environments is very high. Yeah. All the same, would you say that SSP pushed you out of your comfort zone?
That's a great question. I would say it pushed me a lot less than others.
Okay.
I have been in similar environments in the past with another organization called ISEC, spelled AIESEC. Okay.
Get it right.
Get it right. Thank you.
It's kind of similar to ISI, by the way. It's like ISIC. And
yeah, it's all
confusing.
connected. Yes. So that organization was the first where I really went out of my comfort zone.
Okay.
And so far in life, after that organization, few things have pushed me as much. So even though it was out of my comfort zone in the sense of space things, because it was all relatively new, like the fact that it was this intense, we met this many amount of new people, and we were not sleeping that much and all that stuff. I've actually experienced all of that before,
right,
in many other countries through ISEC.
Yes.
So I would say it naturally, there were moments where I was uncomfortable or nervous and all that stuff, but I was, for the most part, fine.
Okay.
Yeah.